On behalf of the University of Strathclyde, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to you to this congregation for the conferment of degrees here in the Barony Hall. Today is a very special day in the university calendar. It's a graduation day, which makes it a day of celebration for our graduates, for the families and friends, and indeed for all the staff of the university. And I can't think of a better venue in which to start that celebration than here in the Barony. In the United States, they refer to these events as commencement ceremonies, as they use them to signify the beginning of a new journey, as opposed to an ending. It is in this spirit that we also celebrate graduations at the University of Strathclyde. Now, in a few moments, it will be my privilege to cap each of our graduates as their name is called out, and they come up on stage to receive their award. The capping tradition, which has its roots in ancient China, is recognised as a rite of passage and as a mark of achievement. And for each of our graduates once capped, it signifies that they are now part of a community of scholars at the University of Strathclyde that can stretch back over 200 years to the Scottish Enlightenment. So they'll be in very good company. At the close of graduation, we have a reception at our nearby Lord Todd building to which everyone is invited to come along. We also hope to have an academic procession. This will very much depend upon the weather, and we'll get an update on that towards the end of this afternoon's proceedings. In the meantime, I do hope that you enjoy the ceremony, and when you see your loved one come on stage to collect his or her award, I would strongly encourage you to celebrate. These occasions do not come round very often, and for many they're once in a lifetime, so please make the most of it. I now formally declare that this congregation for the conferment of degrees is open, and I invite Professor Anya Lewitt, Vice Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, to present our graduates to receive their awards. Thank you.
Vice Principal, in the name of the University and by the authority of Senate, I present to you these students. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Sport and Physical Activity, Alana Black. Heather Campbell. Amy Connell. Amanda Leslie Daly. Rachel Ann Davenport. Craig Haxton. Lindsay Hunter. Rebecca McFarlane. Mark McIlvany. Shannon Lee McClellan. Hayley Mitchell. Katie Frances Patterson. Ryan Adam Plunkett. Greg Russell Herbertson Shepherd. Jillian Stewart. Sean Tonner. Gamon Tsang. Paul Kavanagh. Emma Louise Kaur. Natalie Erskine. Craig George Hamilton. Abigail Macaulay. Fergus Matheson. Neil Muir. Ben Clark. James Usher. In speech and language pathology, Rachel Dewar-Allanach. Catherine Lindsay Burr. Victoria Jane Galbraith. Jenny Laura Isles. Emma Brander. Fiona Campbell. Timon Paul Death. Laura Merdy Ferguson. Frances Mary Rose Gallagher. Rosie Helen Gamark. Alicia Catherine Jones. Tasman Francis MacLeod. Rachel Anna Miller. Rona Mary Sangster. Nicola Scott. Samantha Sharp. Katie Brown. Rachel Kerr. Ashley Jane McGill. Amy Caroline Thompson. Kirsty Warnock. In Human Communication Studies, Johanna Heidi Rodig. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Community Education, Stephanie Sharp. In Education and Social Services, Brogan Lee Jane Johnson. Hannah Mawini. Stacey Lee Purdy. Juwaria Ali. Claire Paula Delaney. Jade Fox. Michelle Ann Harkins. Debbie McClurg. Kimberly Martin McGowan. Claire McKenna. Pamela Janet Young. Nicola Brown. Jill Margaret Buchanan. Lorna Doherty. Christina Dunn. Nicole Glenn Cross. Emma Hickey. Audrey Hillock. Corey Catherine McLean Hughes. Mabel Florence Livingston. Gillian Lorraine McCracken. Adrienne McGovern. Elaine Mary Marshall. Megan Roisin Murphy. Christiana Titilope Olalekan. Laura Susan Peach. Linda Ralston. Heather Thompson. In Economics and Psychology, Murray Logan McLean. In geography, Christine McCaig. In human resource management and psychology, Angela Cheney. Lynn MacArthur. Rachel Arthur. In psychology, Max Braun. Hannah Peyton Burrows. Gerard Martin Campbell. Lauren Rebecca Johnston. Margarita Kanewski. Monica McCoward. Laura Susan McFarlane. Shannon Moran. Sophie Potter. Amber Reed. Vladislava Sagan. Martina Shafti. Gareth Toner. Paula Jacqueline Elizabeth Adam. Maria Kamalevna Ali. Ailey Catherine Bell. Emma Lindsay Brown. Rachel Kane. John Michael Clements. Michael Collins. Julia Beth Cooper. Jacqueline Farrell. Gemma Louise Gill. Anna Lisa Glancy. Cara Louise Harrison. Rebecca Catherine Hart. Natalie Ann Hill. Geraldine Hunter. Hanaya Iqbal. Hannah Jeffrey. Ali Kulif. Claire Laverty. Kate McCauley. Megan McCall. Shelley McLeod. Lindsay McMenemy. Demi McMillan. Lindsay McNeil. Rubnit Mahal. Daniela Medinelli. Amy Marie Mulgrew. Kerry O'Donnell. John McLeod Linton Robertson. Rory Soares. Jessica Shaw. Courtney Eden Kilday Smith. Kaylee Stockley. Fiona Watson. Kirsten Watt. Megan Beth Welsh. Kay Byrne Ross. Rachel Coyle. Ian Gardner. Megan Rebecca Harrison. Bernice Shelley Camford. Fiona McDougall. Ryan McFeely. Jenna Quinn. Cornelia Ramsade. Sosha Lilia Rutherford. In Psychology and Economics, Alison Ann MacLeod. In Psychology and English, Claire Ellen Grant. In Psychology and Human Resource Management, Stephanie MacDonald. Mariah Rasul. In Psychology and Law, Fallon Bennett. In Psychology and Politics, Megan Morrison. In Social Work, Nicola Init Harton. Kirsty McIntyre. Richard McIntyre. Kay York Saxelby. Ellen Lindsay Andrew. Colin John Campbell. Kim Cassidy. Lauren Catherine Findlay. Rachel Henderson. Charles Kevin Gerard McLaughlin. Ema Murtagh. Ahmed Ali Shi. Catherine Spalding. Louisa Michelle Stewart. Maxine Cairns. Stephen James Cassidy. Lindsay Marshall. Grace Warnock Young. Sorry, Leslie Muir. Sorry, Leslie Muir. Roma Louise Scott. Sorry, now I'm getting really confused. I do apologize. Sorry, you are? Roma Louise Scott. Leslie Muir? Yes! Apologies for that. Okay, in social work, residential childcare, Kirsty Blackhurst. In English and Psychology, Paulina Ludwig Torreblanca. In Humanities and Social Sciences, Coralie D. Arthur.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, and most of all, Strathclyde University's newest graduates, it is my pleasure to once again warmly welcome you to our graduation ceremony here in the Barony Hall. Quite rightly, our graduates have been centre stage, and I would like to begin my address by congratulating all of you once again on your academic achievements. Your hard work has paid off, and this has now been recognised in front of your family, friends, and the staff who taught and supported you during your time at the university. As mentioned earlier, graduation is one of the great moments in the university calendar. This is a proud day for you, for your family and friends, and for all of the staff at the university. We celebrate your efforts and your achievements. Well done indeed. Now, in a short while, at the close of graduation, you may be asked to join the academic procession as this leaves the Barony Hall, provided that the rain stays off. This invitation actually symbolises the fact that you are now no longer students, but full members of the academic community of Strathclyde, a community that numbers over 150,000 individuals. This is an important day for you all, and I hope that the memory of today is something that will stay with you wherever you go and whatever you choose to do in life. We will keep in touch with you through our alumni team, and I would ask that you also keep in touch with us. Let us know what you are up to, what you think about what we are doing at the university, and what you would like to do to help future generations of students. As Strathclyde graduates, you possess some of the most valuable assets that anyone can have in today's world. A capacity to absorb knowledge together with the ability to use this for the benefit of your community and the wider world. Nelson Mandela once said that education was the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Do not underestimate this power or your responsibility to use it well. In Scotland, we are fortunate in having a higher education system which is internationally respected, and as a society, we are quite right to invest in it. Education broadens the mind and creates opportunities for individuals and for society. However, education itself does not confer rights. The opportunities that education gives each of us also carries with it a responsibility to use what we have learned wisely and for the good of others. A sense of duty should come readily to graduates of this university. As Strathclyders, we only have to look to the achievements of those who have gone before us for our inspiration. To John Anderson, our founder, who established this university for the good of mankind. To the world's first oilman, James Paraffin Young. To the missionary and explorer, David Livingstone. To John Logie Baird, who did such pioneering work on the development of television. And in the present day, we look to Dame Ailey Shangelini, a pioneer in Scottish justice as the country's first female Solicitor General, and later its first female Lord Advocate. And to Sir Tom Hunter, one of the most successful entrepreneurs in Scottish history, and a philanthropist who has used his wealth to the great benefit of others around the world. I am sure that you've been given lots of advice on how best to plan your life. Some of this advice you will accept, some you will rightly ignore, but most of it you will have to learn for yourself. Robert Louis Stevenson put it well when he said, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant." Now, to reach this point in your lives today, each of you will have travelled a different journey. For some, the path will have been relatively smooth, and for others, this may have been more challenging. However, I am certain of one thing, that none of you would be here without the active support of your family and friends. They have picked you up when you have been down, and they have encouraged you when you have needed it. And many will be here today, proudly watching as you cross this stage with broad smiles and the odd tear in the eye. Now, they're celebrating today, not just because you're almost off the payroll, but because you carry with you their hopes, their wishes and confidence for a successful career. For the past half hour or so, their applause has rung in your ears as you each in turn cross this stage to receive your awards. I would now like to invite our graduates to show their appreciation for the support received from their family and friends. I touched earlier on some of the key figures who have helped create and shape the University of Strathclyde. And you can tell a lot about the values of an organisation by looking at its roots. Strathclyde traces its lineage back to 1796, when Anderson brought it into being, the only Scottish university founded during the Age of Enlightenment and embodying the Enlightenment principles of reason, tolerance and equality. Anderson's belief in useful learning and his commitment to taking knowledge and using this for the greater good is the motivating force which gives Strathclyde University its momentum today. This can be seen in our pioneering law clinic, where our students provide support and representation to people who cannot afford legal advice. And it can be seen in our Hunter Centre for Entrepreneurship, which contributes directly to the development of the Scottish and UK economies. It can also be seen in our Technology and Innovation Centre, which was opened by Her Majesty the Queen. The centre is already transforming the way in which academics collaborate with business, industry and the public sector to bring global competitive advantage to Scotland. These represent a small sample of the many innovative projects being led by our world-class staff and students, who are taking new knowledge and using it to solve problems in industry and in the boardroom. Other highlights over the last year include, in February, Social Work and Social Policies Professor Nasser Mir received the Royal Society of Edinburgh's Thomas Reid Medal for his groundbreaking research work on Muslim identities, race equality and nationalism. Daniela Syme of Social Work and Social Policy has been awarded 2 major research grants, including a British Academy Fellowship for her work on young people's experiences of poverty and stigma at the intersection of ethnicity, class and gender. The school also received funding from the Scottish Government for an equally safe and higher education project. This is designed to improve our knowledge and understanding of the problem of gender-based violence on university campuses. The project is being led by Amy Donaldson, Melanie McCarry, Rosalind McGoldrick and Kevin Pinkleton. Social Work and Social Policy also received funding from the Citizenship Recovery Inclusive Society Partnership. This international project, funded by the European Union, including partners from New York University and Yale University, explores a range of ways of improving the quality of life with people for experiences in mental ill health. Psychologist Dr. Sinead Rhodes set up the Research the Headlines project in association with the Royal Society of Edinburgh. This project addresses public understanding of research evidence in media writing and was recently nominated to the top 10 of the UK Blog Awards in the education category. Dr. Steve Kelly of Psychology is leading a £500,000 project with 10 companies in Glasgow to design and implement tests to measure unconscious bias in their workforces in an effort to help each company improve equality, diversity and inclusion. Now, these are just some of the many contributions being made by our staff and students. And Strathclyde is being increasingly recognised as a place where things happen, and this is why our graduates are so highly prized by companies and organisations looking to recruit the best talent to drive their businesses forward. Scotland punches above its weight across the board, and I know that the future of Scotland will be built on the quality of its graduates. However, regardless of their discipline, all of our students learn how to be innovative, enterprising and creative, and they make a real difference when they go out into the workplace. So wherever your career takes you, always remember that as a Strathclyde graduate, useful learning carries with it responsibilities that go beyond academic scholarship. And finally, let me offer my sincerest congratulations to you all once again on your achievements, and I hope that you enjoy the remainder of what is a very special day. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that now concludes the formal part of this afternoon's proceedings, which I hope you've enjoyed and you will take away very many happy memories of today. I would remind you that we do have a reception immediately afterwards over in our Lord Todd, which is just 100 yards up on the right, to which everyone is invited to come along and have some refreshments and to celebrate. I've just been told that the weather has stayed pleasant, so we can have an academic procession, which is good. And I'll take this opportunity to invite Strathclyde University's newest graduates to join the academic procession. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask for you to remain in the hall until the academic procession has passed and then follows over to the Lord Todd. Thank you. I now formally declare this congregation for the conferment of degrees closed.